Welcome to my OWL podcast, where movement becomes medicine. Join us for our insightful conversations, expert advice, and inspiring stories that explore the incredible power of movement in the world of medicine. Whether you're a physical enthusiast, a healthcare professional, or simply curious about the fascinating connection between movement and healing, you might find this interesting. So grab the multimedia device of your preference, get ready to stretch your mind, and let's dive into the world of movement-based medicine together. Today, I'm here with Kevon Anderson. He's a dual licensed physical therapist as well as massage therapist. But I'm going to let him tell a little bit about what he does. I find it very interesting. And um, well, Kevon, how's it going, man? I'm glad to have you. I'm glad
Good.
we're able to spend some time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Finally,
Finally,
so
huh?
yeah, finally, yeah. It's been a
Yeah.
long time that we've been
Yeah.
trying to work this out.
Yeah.
So
It's been a
I'm
long
glad we're
time.
able to get it.
Absolutely.
So tell everybody a little bit about what you do and yeah, give it.
Yes. I am, like I said, a dual licensed massage therapist and physical therapist. Um, but I do specialize in more the massage area, uh, manual lymphatic drainage for plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. I also do other various practices such as sports massage and deep tissue, and Swedish massage. But lymphatic, manual lymphatic drainage, and working with plastic surgeries and cosmetic is definitely a hot area that I've been able to, have the blessing to actually work in for the last 4 years.
Well, and that's one of the things that I find very interesting, primarily because we know that it's out there, and I'm referring primarily to the cosmetics.
Right.
Okay,
Hmm.
we're here in South Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
But like it's almost like an unspoken thing.
Right.
So we know stuff has to be done, and people have to do things to make sure that their cosmetic procedure comes out good and comes out well.
Absolutely.
And I know there's a lot of health implications that are involved.
Hmm.
And so basically, when we met and you kind of told me a little bit about what it is that you do, I go, wow, I mean, you're the first person who, I've met who's spoken about this.
Right.
And I'm seeing things from the other end. We're not just
Right.
seeing, all we're seeing outside right now is the frosting on the cake with the
Correct.
sprinkles.
Right.
Okay. But I want to know what goes into building that cake,
Correct. Correct.
So, first of all, give me a little bit of background, your professional background, as a massage therapist, how long you've been doing it, and how your practice has evolved to doing lymphatic drainage and tissue movement for the cosmetic field.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a massage therapist for about 7 plus years actually, and but prior to that, I was just really just doing, focusing in between, physical therapy and massage,
Okay.
especially with a lot of the patients with physical therapy. About 4 years ago, doing just shortly before the pandemic, I was introduced to a friend of mine about the plastic surgery world and about the manual lymphatic drainage. She's also a physical therapist as well.
Okay.
Once I was introduced to that, I found it to be pretty interesting.
Okay.
And so I decided to, to take a little bit more further studies into it. So one of the first steps I did was I went online, and I was actually referred to a friend of mine that actually did this as well, to take a CEU course at the Lymphatic American Studies of Lymphatic Drainage.
Where's that located?
They they basically travel all over the country.
Okay.
So they'll just go from, location. You just have to go and meet them there. So like
Gotcha.
they'll go to a hotel and they'll rent out one of the big rooms and a big class size room, and they'll basically do their teaching there. My course I did was for 40 hours. So it was a full work week, Monday through Friday, about 8 a.m. to about 5 p.m. of manual lymphatic drainage. That's where I learned the basics of basically the anatomy and the type of techniques and the history behind manual lymphatic drainage. Once I completed that, The following year, I decided to take it a little bit more further, and they came up with an advanced program specifically for plastic surgeries.
Really?
So I decided to go ahead and take that. Um, and so that was quite interesting as well too. I knew everything that they learned. I knew everything from what I had learned from the previous first um, training course, but everything was more geared toward plastic surgery. It was needed because the industry had started to boom so well that there was really that people were asking to actually have some type of course specializing in plastic surgery.
Really?
Yes.
Now, this boom, like you said, started during the COVID era.
Well, it started before. Honestly, it started before COVID. I would say it was popular before.
Okay.
But during COVID, um, I to me, and I might be wrong. To me, it grew rapidly because everybody, a lot of people travel down just to, for example, for Miami, just to do these plastic surgery procedures.
Okay.
And so where I came in now was um, I was able to get these clients that came in from out of town, for example, and they needed a service where I was able to go to them as opposed to coming to me.
So it's almost like a concierge service.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And the great thing with that is that, when you're recovering from surgery, you don't want to have to keep getting up and some people don't want to have to get up and go to
This
go
is
get
true.
service.
This is true.
So I brought the service to them.
Okay.
Whether
okay.
it was their hotel, Airbnb, family house, or locally at their home, wherever. I brought my own equipment, my own tables, my own supplies, and everything, and I did what I had to do.
Okay, so you're bringing forth, considering after surgery, I don't care whatever kind of surgery it is,
Right.
individuals are typically not very comfortable.
Correct.
So you're creating, so the service that you're creating is primarily convenience, but you're
Right.
bringing a vital service with convenience to these individuals.
Absolutely.
Because from what I understand, the procedure that you perform helps everything go well, but it also could save lives. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, yes, it could save life, but also it expedites the recovery.
Okay.
All right. So it helps us speed up recovery, and making sure that we are performing proper techniques to making sure we're moving fluid to the right direction of where the body, and so that way we can allow the body to do what they need to do. So we're just assisting the body, right?
Okay.
And also we're also helping with much more better to help in faster recovery, so that way they can be able to move better.
Okay.
So for example, like patients that have tummy tucks, they tend to slouch over, they tend to have pain in their back. So that's something, also an area that I'll also focus on, including that, so that way I can release some type of tension and pain if they do have it, right?
So for individuals who do not know or understand lymphatic drainage or like the lymph system, I mean, what's a rudimentary way, a simple way to kind of explain to individuals so they have an idea?
So yeah, like basically in layman terms, we're basically just moving fluids, waste into the lymphatic vessels, so that way the lymphatic system able to do your job, right? So that way, because in the lymphatic system is the system of waste, right? And to boost your immune system.
Gotcha.
Right? So, and that's something that we use gentle strokes, not anything that's deep pressure or anything, but gentle strokes, making the patient feel much comfortable, first of all, and that way we can be able to do, move fluids and swelling, and to decrease swelling out. That's the whole purpose.
So primarily you're reducing swelling.
And we're reducing swelling, because once you reduce swelling, then the patient will be able to have more mobility.
Okay. So for what I take from it is, simply put, I'm going to simplify this for myself. Okay. What you're doing is you're moving around the inflammation, so that the body, you're enhancing the circulation.
Correct.
So the body can heal more effectively, efficiently.
Correct.
And from what I do understand is that circulation is the basis for overall human homeostasis and production and improvement from injuries and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
So you're facilitating the blood flow, and
Absolutely.
if you facilitate blood flow,
Absolutely.
people, you're facilitating healing.
Healing. And with healing, it comes with results as well too.
Okay.
So once your body is healing, your results are more likely to be more apparent.
Really?
Right. So, like for example, can you support, let's say, the stomach? Somebody who has a liposuction, the stomach. Once your swelling decreases, your stomach, your results of your stomach is going to show not only a less inflammation, but also it's going to be more toned. It's going to be, along with compression, because we also teach our clients to make sure proper ways of compression, because that's a huge part of it. Then clients will begin to see their results start to flourish, but it takes time. It takes weeks.
Explain the compression aspect.
So the compression comes with, for example, where they have to wear fajas.
Okay.
Right.
So it's like almost like a back brace for
no. It's like a how can I explain it? It's a faja where it's kind of like a body suit.
Almost like Spanx.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's kind of like a bodysuit, but they have to get into, right? And it's like a corset but it has like these hooks that they have to hook on, right? And this is a way for them to stay at a compression state throughout the entire time while they're recovering.
So when they have this on, it's kind of keep the body tight. So I guess when it heals in the tightening.
Right, and it promotes circulation much better.
Really? Even when it's really, really tight?
When it's really tight.
Really?
And yeah, it promotes circulation, and also, like I said, it will help to promote, facilitate their results, because their goal is to get snatched, for example. Right? You see what I'm saying? That's their goal. That's what they pay for.
Of course. So
that's what they want.
Silly me.
Right. So they want it as quick as possible. But nothing as quick as possible. We still educate them to, the most important thing I try to, educate my patients to be consistent, right? You just can't do it. You just can't do it when you feel like it. You have to do it. So staying compression is very, very important in that aspect, because it helps to facilitate and reduce swelling.
So what kind of time frames are we talking about? So an individual who gets, poked around a little bit and like right after surgery or a couple of days, like how does that work? Like
as far as what
after they do like the liposuction and stuff like that, how soon is it required that you see them so they can get the best results?
So normally most surgeons here in South Florida recommend that they start their first session the day after surgery.
Wow, that's
very quick. Yes.
So you're not exactly their best friend when you come to see them.
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
But in most cases, they're very miserable after the surgery, of course, and especially when you go first see them. But normally, in most cases, from my experience, they feel much better after the session.
After the first session,
after the first session, they usually feel better.
So it encourages them to have you come back again?
It encourages you to have them come back again.
How many times do you suggest, or what kind of regimen do you get the best results with?
So you usually get the best results when you're consistent. Normally, it all depends, but some surgeons will recommend, for example, the first week, let's say 5 to 6 massages the first week, or 5 to 6 sessions the first week. They will suggest that.
Okay.
Some surgeons are a little bit different, depending on the surgery as well too.
Okay.
Some surgeons will suggest every other day or so.
Okay.
But it also depends on the client as well too, is what they want as well too. Some patients may feel like they need it every day, because even though they feel better after the first session, by the time they go to bed and they go to sleep, they're still going to wake up in pain and agony.
Okay.
So the sessions really help them at least get through the day.
Okay.
So I would book, let's say, if a patient is here for let's say 3 days, and she only schedules for 2 days, let's say, for example, and I schedule 2 days, she might want me to come back for at least another day.
Okay.
Because she finds that really helpful.
So you're better than medication.
I mean,
hey, I'm just saying. Okay, no problem. They got you coming back. Okay, You're
Yeah,
good at what you
right,
do, so no problem.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The whole thing, they just feel better. They feel like they can move better. They don't feel as tight, restrictive, and they don't feel as swollen.
Now, if these individuals do not seek out the lymphatic drainage, what are the potential outcomes if they don't do that?
Oh, the results can be, it can interfere with their results.
Okay.
Constant swelling. They'll definitely have some pain. They'll definitely have, it can interfere with their results. They can produce, like harden up the skin, like fibrosis.
Really?
It can develop seroma. Seroma is basically a pocket of fluid that's just stuck in one area of the body that's been lipoed, for example.
Really?
Right. So that's the whole purpose of the manual lymphatic drainage, is so we can move around and help to assist the lymphatic system. Without that, you putting yourself at great risk of not having the body do its job.
Wow. So really, the surgeons need you and love you because you make sure their work comes out fully intact as desired.
Absolutely, absolutely. The surgeons now understand how important these sessions are, because now they're starting to have their own therapists at the surgeon offices.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times now, people, when they go for their post-op the day after surgery, they start to get their first session there.
Okay, gotcha.
Because now they understand how important it was. Before, it wasn't as important. Before, nobody was really educated about it. But now people are still really starting to realize that it does help. It does help. Some people don't do it, and they feel like they didn't need to do it, and that's fine. But not everybody can do it, because everybody's different. Everybody's body responds differently to a traumatic surgery such as like that.
Gotcha. So, all right. So, my question is, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of different individuals, different body types, and things of that nature. Is there anything that you can say there's a direct correlation to? So, I imagine an individual who's a couch potato, but they want to get quote unquote snatched, right? They get the surgery. Their results and their prognosis or their outcomes are going to be way different than somebody who's actually active and working on improving themselves and just kind of going there just to get the perfection.
Absolutely.
Like, what is it that you notice in your experience?
Yes, that's absolutely a great point. For example, like, how can I say this? Some people have unrealistic expectations.
Okay, explain.
Right? And so some people, let's say, they don't understand that a surgery is not going to get you into this snatch perfect body based on your body type.
Okay.
So I try to educate the patients that, look, based on your body type, you may want this, but you may have to do another round of surgery to get to that point.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because of your body type, because of what you have, right?
Gotcha.
So for example, let's say a mother who had multiple pregnancies, right? You already know their stomach, their abdominal walls are stretched, separated, and usually they tend to have hanging skin. And of course, exercise is not going to help that, right? So they may need a tuck, right? So they may need a tummy tuck, versus another lady who didn't have any children, who didn't experience that as well too. She may just need a lipo tuck. She just may need lipo because she don't have the excess skin.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So she's able to get away with that because she don't have the excess skin. So when she lipos that, she's pretty good to go.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? That makes sense?
Yes, no, I understand. So basically, just so I make sure I understand, an individual who has a lot more to work with also has a lot more to come back from.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it all depends on their goal. So I always say to my clients, you have to know what your goal is. Don't allow anybody to tell you what you need to do. Okay. You need to know what you want specifically, because if you're satisfied with the first round, then that's you, because you've seen a difference from what you originally had
Gotcha.
prior to,
Gotcha.
right?
Gotcha.
And if you're happy with it, then be happy with that. But if you're not and you want a certain look, then you may need to go back and do another round.
So now, you said something in terms of something I find interesting in terms of managing expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't understand the culture very well. But I would assume that individuals in that realm, their expectations, the bar is always being raised,
Absolutely.
and they're having, once they get to what they thought that they wanted, they
Mm-hmm.
realize that's not really what they wanted, and they keep
Absolutely.
going
They
further,
keep
keep
going
going
further.
more and more. So how do you explain that, or I mean, how do you combat that?
Well, I tell people, prior to doing surgery, you need to do your research. You need to do your research. You need to know exactly what you want, what you're looking for, what your goal is, and then you can make an educated decision of what it is that you want to do and what type of surgery you want to do. And you look for your surgeon, a surgeon who's well experienced, well knowledgeable, educated, and also licensed as well too. That's important.
So you got therapists out here unlicensed doing this kind of work? Oh boy.
But listen, but you know, that's why I always try to advise people to do your own research and educate yourself. And a lot of people have actually messed up themselves
How
by
so?
not doing that.
Like, what have you seen?
Well, for example, they've done the wrong surgery based on their body type.
Uh-huh.
They've gone to unlicensed professions, for example. They've been botched, um, because a lot of people like to rush through this process.
Mhm.
They want it done so quick. They want this like instant results.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right, right,
And
right.
they're not doing things properly. So that's one of the main issues that people have. And then they get frustrated and they blame the surgery. No, you're the problem. You didn't do your proper research.
Mm.
You didn't actually know what it is that you need to do. Another thing too, like I'm big on too is especially great surgeons always suggest that you maintain a certain lifestyle or you do things prior to your surgery. That way your body can be strong enough and have a better recovery, like eating good, taking certain vitamins and minerals, so that way you can be able to build up your blood count, your iron, and everything like that. Because surgeons aren't going to do operate on you if you have a low iron.
Really?
Absolutely, because
Okay.
after the surgery, your hemo is going to drop. That's what I'm saying. So if it's too low, then no, they're not going to operate on you.
And from what I understand, when it comes to surgery, surgeons only want to do work that's going to give them high percentage
Absolutely.
success.
Yeah, because they don't want to look bad.
Right. Right.
And as they should,
Right. For sure. For sure.
Right, as
Their
they
license is
should.
on the line.
Their licenses are on the line. So great surgeons out there they tend to have a lot of protocols prior, pre-surgery and post-surgery,
Mm.
right? And so I would suggest that I always suggest that you look for surgeons that have those type of protocols in place, because that'll set you up for success and a safer and a successful journey.
Gotcha. So individuals who have had these surgeries, these tummy tucks, these lipos, and BBLs, and all
Mm-hmm.
that interesting stuff. All right. After, let's say, for instance, they no longer need your services.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you notice about these individuals? I mean, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, their energy, what is it that you notice about
After they no longer need my services,
them?
well, so everybody is different. So the ones that are serious about maintaining their results,
Mhm.
they will do what they need to do. They will eat right, they will work out, they will keep up with their compressions, they would keep up with uh, doing maintenance massages, maintenance like body work.
Okay.
So you have like body scoping. So I always tell my clients, especially ones from out of town, make sure you find someone that specializes in like plastic surgery body scoping. So they're being proactive in doing things like that and making sure they're maintaining their results,
Okay.
right? Because I always tell them that just because you now have this body, you gotta maintain it.
Right.
Right?
You got to respect it.
You gotta respect it. Exactly. You got a little cheat code.
Mhm.
Now let's maintain it. Right.
Right.
Like, you know, you got
Right.
you got a little head, and it's fine.
Right.
Now let's go to work and let's maintain it. But some people don't do that,
Mm-hmm.
and they get carried away, and unfortunately, some people have to end up coming back.
So they go right back to square one.
They go back, yeah, they go right back to square one, and they end up coming back for more work.
Now, after they do that, I mean, how much work is there a limit? Can you keep coming back limitlessly?
Well, that's up to the surgeons. I think there is a limit. I'm not too sure. Especially for BBLs. I believe there is a limit. I'm not too sure. I don't want to be wrong on that one, because BBLs are the most riskiest and dangerous plastic surgery.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, just so I understand exactly what is a BBL. I understand it's acronym for Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's where they take one part a fat from your body,
Mhm.
particularly, let's say, your stomach area, and they transfer that fat to your buttocks area. It's in order to enhance your buttocks area.
Okay. So there's like no silicone, no external, nothing foreign in the area.
No silicone. It's not nothing. That's why I don't consider it fake, me personally.
Okay.
Because it's using your own fat.
Okay.
You see what
All
I'm
right.
saying? And
Okay.
then they're just reshaping it and enhancing it to change the appearance of your buttocks.
Okay. So now you say that one is probably most dangerous and
that is the most riskiest and dangerous
Why?
surgery. It's so many different reasons why with that, but I don't know. I can't speak for the surgeons on that particular issue, to be honest with you, but due to a lot of research, due to what I've seen, the news, due to what I've learned from my CU courses, one of the reasons why it's one of the most dangerous is because I believe is the type of procedure that's being done, right, to enhance the buttocks area and the area that they're performing it. But it definitely has shown that it is definitely dangerous because the numbers speak for itself.
Do you think the individuals understand the risk that they're putting themselves in?
I don't think most individuals really understand that.
They're only paying attention to the upside.
They only paying attention to the upside. They really are. But I do believe that you reduce your chances significantly if you do what you need to do prior to having these surgeries. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of individuals don't do what they need to do prior to having these surgeries, like taking your vitamins and making sure you eat, properly, not lying to the surgeon about any medical history that you have that might interfere with the surgery. That also is also a leading cause to these deaths. Doing surgery.
Would that be the same thing, similar to what happened to Kanye West's mom? Because she was having a procedure done.
Right, she was having a procedure done, but I'm not sure about the details with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was so long ago, so I don't know.
Okay. Well,
right.
She died on the table. That's what I
right. She did. Yeah. My understanding, she died. But there are women that I know that I don't personally know that I've seen on the news, for example, that I've heard of that they've died on the table, for example, due to they found that there was some kind of medical issue prior to that they didn't disclose to their surgeons, right? So that could be one contributing factor to their death. Another contributing factor, they can have, like, let's say, a blood clot or like a fat clot that can be clogged up into the artery that can cause death. Yeah, and so the procedure of BBLs tend to heighten those risks, right? So, but again, like I said, I think that people need to be aware and need to educate themselves what they're getting themselves into, right? And I think that you can prepare for these procedures if if you're smart enough to do it safely, if you're wise enough to do it, to be proactive,
right?
All right, and making sure that you do what you need to do to put yourself in a position where you're safe, you're safe, and also you make it easier for the surgeons to also do what they need to do.
Gotcha.
You just can't always just rely on the surgeons to do.
Gotcha.
You gotta
do your part.
You gotta do your part as well too. I really believe in that, and so that's something I always encourage to people if they, when I give them advice.
Okay. I feel like South Florida is the BBL capital of of the United States. I mean, it's just about everywhere. I mean, like you said, individuals are flying from all over the country to come to Florida to have their work done and to seek your services.
Right.
Right. But then also, I know individuals are also flying elsewhere.
Yes.
South America, Colombia.
Yeah,
DR.
they're flying to Dominican Republic, Colombia. Some I've had clients also who has went to Mexico as well too. Yeah.
Wow. So when they go there, they come back quickly and then they seek out your services?
Correct. So like, for example, my local clients, I've had local clients who have gone to, let's say, DR or Colombia, and they get their sessions there, get recovery, because in most cases, especially when you go to Colombia, they're not letting you go home right away. So a lot of times people are staying there for at least a week.
So their medical procedure is definitely tip top.
Yeah, especially if you're going to a legit doctor, they're more than likely not going to let you leave or get home on a plane for about 7 days, because it puts you at very high risk.
Okay.
If you flying too quickly on the plane, you're more high risk for. Well, yeah, you're more higher risk for blood clots.
Right.
So because of the circulation, that's why wound compression is so important. But yeah, when I have clients my local clients who have gone to other countries and they come here, then I'll start their session from where they left off.
Now, how do they find you?
Oh, Instagram. Usually Instagram, Google, refer from a friend.
Okay, word of mouth.
A lot of my business that came from word of mouth. Okay. I don't really post as much on Instagram. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, it's okay. I mean, if you're getting it from word of mouth,
right? But a lot of my clients, a lot of great deal of my clients came from word of mouth.
I would assume that clientele would like to keep things a little bit on the down low a little bit. They wouldn't exactly want to broadcast the fact that they had work done.
And that's the thing, and that's a great point you made, because a lot of my clients, and I tell people that a lot of my clients don't consist of, like, let's say you see like on the Instagram models or anything like that. No, they actually professional working people.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. They just want to enhance their look. That's it. But we're talking about professional working people with families, kids, and everything. I mean, you name it down the line. I probably have seen just about every professional in this business that have been a part of the plastic surgery work.
So if we're walking around, you can look like, oh, they had work done.
Yeah,
they had work done. So you can tell.
No, I can tell.
You got to tell me, man.
I can tell.
What am I looking for? What are we looking for?
I can usually tell. In most cases, I can tell.
Yeah.
And there are cases I'll be like, I can't really tell right there.
What are the telltale signs?
It's too perfect. It's too upright and perfect. For example, the butt.
Okay.
It's too upright and perfect and perky.
So you like a little natural sag?
Who, me personally?
No, I don't know. I'm just talking about what you.
Well, if you talk about me individually, what I like, I like natural, but I don't mind BBL as well too. I don't care.
Because in your opinion, BBL is also natural. Is that you're using your own stuff? You just
right. I don't. Like some people, a lot of especially guys feel like it's fake.
Okay.
Especially my boys, they always question me about my feel, but I always kind of limit to what I tell them.
Okay.
But a couple of them feel like it's unnatural.
Okay.
But I'm like, to me, I don't feel it's 100% natural. Like I said, you're not using any type of silicone, or or it's not like a transplant or anything like that. You're using your own fat to transport and shape, and your fat obviously get absorbed into your body. So, and after a while, you can actually enhance your results by working out and eating and everything like that. So it's just an enhancement from your own body, from the tissues from your body.
So if you got a BBL and you've got a butt full of fat, right? And you do a lot of exercise. Let's say, for instance, you tighten up your diet hardcore, and you go really at it in the gym. You're doing anaerobic workouts, aerobic workouts, and you're just hitting it. Could you potentially like reabsorb and use all that butt fat as fuel and then lose it?
You can lose it if you're not using it. So meaning that if you're not working out, if you're not working out, if you're not eating properly, then you start to lose too much weight. You can lose it.
Really?
But if you're maintaining your results by working out, when you're able to, once you're fully healed,
Right.
that is, but once you're fully healed, you're able now to work out, build the muscles, right? Eat right and everything like that. You can enhance it even more. I've seen that happen.
Okay.
I've seen that happen in my clients.
Really?
Absolutely.
Now, can you see, again, I just find it so fascinating. I know pretty much nothing about it.
Right.
Is there any other reasonings apart from cosmetic that somebody would benefit from, one of these procedures?
Like, what you mean? Like,
I don't know. Primarily everybody does it for the cosmetic.
Right,
We're
for
in
the
South
cosmetic.
Florida, tons of beautiful people coming from all over the world.
Right.
Everybody's trying to compete to look good, right? But is there a functional reason to have work done?
Oh,
Lipo,
to have
tummy
work.
tuck,
Okay, I got you.
or your BBL.
Is there, again, it all depends on the goal on the person.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, people are not satisfied with the way they look, right? And so they want a certain look. They want a certain appearance. Women in particular, especially for mothers in particular, it's very hard for them to achieve the goal that they want, right? Because, again, the sagging skin, it's very hard to get rid of that. In most cases, you're not going to get rid of that. People also, what I've had seen as well, let's say they've lost a tremendous amount of weight. Okay. Again, sagging skin.
Gotcha.
They need that surgery to tighten up. You know what I'm saying?
Because you won't be able to reabsorb, and the elasticity is gone at that point.
Elasticity is gone at that point. So it all depends on the person's goal and what they want to achieve, what kind of appearance that they want to achieve. And in cases like those, the only option that they have is to do a surgery.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then you have people who just want to do it, they don't need to do it. They just want to do it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
So they're trying to stunt for the gram.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Right.
No
they just want to flaunt and they just want to stunt,
Right.
So you have those different people, and it's just all depending on their goal and what they want.
So it's almost like permanent makeup. I don't know. It might sound silly, but here's my philosophy, right? Yeah. There might be certain trends that are going around, and I might not find it attractive or appealing, but I don't have a problem with them doing it, because I think if a woman wants to feel beautiful, I want a woman to feel beautiful. Right. So if they want to enhance themselves or do this and that and the other, I'm all for it. I don't necessarily have to like it, but I like that you're in a better mental space. And you feel good. Now, I do realize there tends to be a limit, because there's individuals who don't have a limit and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and then next thing you end up looking like the cat lady.
Correct. And that's the problem right there, because you see more of that on, like, let's say social media or on TV or not, wherever, and you see more of those type of people, right, than the people like I said, the working class, the regular 9 to 5 that they just want a little something.
Right.
You see less of those people because they don't care about putting themselves out there.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
They want to look natural.
Gotcha.
So they don't want something to make them look. They don't want to seem noticeable. They don't want the results to seem noticeable.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they go for the more natural look.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why with some people you would never tell that they've had plastic surgery, because you can't tell. So some people you really cannot tell.
So the work is that good.
The work is that good.
And the proportions are
are perfectly set
Okay.
for their body. And again, with them maintaining the results, that makes it even better because nobody would never know.
Gotcha.
Versus the ones now that don't want to put in the work, for example, and they keep going back, enhancing because they're looking for perfection. They're looking for specific perfection of body type. And they just keep going back and going back and going back. You see more of those out there on social media platforms and, and on TV and everything like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why there's such a bad rap with the plastic surgery and everything, and why, there's such a bad, such a bad rap with people having surgery, because you see more of that. That's more, it's like that's more pushed out. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Versus, like for example, the moms, they just want to, they just want a little talk.
Right.
And I can't blame them.
Well, no, I can't argue.
Like,
I can't argue with
and
that.
I understand it. I understand it from the body, from the anatomy and physiological part of it.
Right.
Like the moms and people that have put in the work and lost tremendous amount of weight, and now they're like, yo, this is my chance to really set myself apart, where like I can really get to this level. I can really get the look that I've been always wanting to look.
Right.
Because for all these years I've been this way, and now I get a chance to really be this way. So and I'm like, those are the people right there. I'm so happy for them.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
no, for sure. I can see
it's
that.
it's like now they get a chance to really enhance themselves, from not just from a physical but mentally. And I think that's great. I honestly think that's beautiful, and I love working with those people.
So now that I guess that feels good, because now that lets you, now you're a part of an individual's transformation.
Absolutely. That's the rewarding part of it. You're actually involved in their journey.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they will appreciate you for that always. You know what I'm saying? And it's just and everybody that was involved, from the surgeons to the nurses to the therapists to their family members, everybody that was involved. And that makes it beautiful. That makes it worth it.
So after an individual is like fully healed, how much follow up, or would you suggest follow up sessions with you after a certain period of time, or just kind of upkeep, or not?
I always suggest at least doing some type of maintenance sessions, so that way they're keeping up with the massages, because every now and then they're going to need it.
Okay.
Especially within the first 8 weeks, they're going to go through periodic swelling. They're going to go through the periodic discomfort every now and then. They're gonna get some tightness. They're gonna get some skin tightness, hardness in certain areas. So with the maintenance that I'm doing, a lot of times I'm helping to not just only help to enhance, but making sure certain areas in their body are not, for example, not harden up. You know what I'm saying? Like not harden up. For example, I'm able to do some cross-fiction massage.
Okay.
Right. I'm able to do things that kind of make them feel a little bit, make them look better appearance-wise, and decrease swelling again. So yeah.
If they get like that fibrosis, or that, what's that called,
seroma,
the seroma, I mean, can you come back from that, or surgery?
No, yeah, you could definitely come back from that. Absolutely. Okay. Well, seroma, you can definitely will. So a lot of times with the seroma, if a client has seroma, I normally suggest them to go back to their surgeon, so that way they can have that drained out, right?
Okay.
Because at that point, it's just stuck. And also, I always show them and educate them on the proper ways to compress the area. So a lot of times they have, like, for example, foams and boards. They can be able to compress the area, and that'll help to reabsorb that fluid as well too. All right. Fibrosis is a little bit tougher, because if fibrosis has been left there too long, they might have to go back to surgery to get that fixed.
Oh man. And they're got to cut. They're not just poking at that point.
So, but it has to get to a point where they left it there way too long, and there has been cases of like that. Okay. And also too, you have individuals, therapists who specialize in kind of like body contouring, and they have they have equipment that can help to, remove like certain hardened areas like fibrosis and stuff like that. So that's also another way that they can do to have that. But sometimes they have to go back to surgery.
I got a quick question. I've seen on social media, you got the females and they'll rub like Vaseline and baby oil over their stomach and wrap up with saran wrap.
Right.
Does that stuff work?
I don't know what that does. I
Okay.
honestly don't know what that does. Yeah, they're yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know about the Vaseline and the saran
It
wrap.
just look greasy, man.
Yeah, I don't honestly don't know. I honestly don't know that. I try to be transparent with everybody as best as possible. The simplest, the most basic thing that you can do. It's not easy, but the most basic thing that you can do. If you're trying to get your stomach down, you just gotta change your diet.
So diet, the natural way, the hard way.
You gotta change your diet. You just gotta change your diet. You just gotta work to and then you will see your results. Now, again, some people it is a little bit harder than others. Some people may have, medical issues and stuff like that. So their their results may come in a little bit slower than others. Genetics has a role, can play a role in that as well too. Age.
Would you say a lot of individuals are probably more prone towards the instant gratification?
Yes, a lot of people. I would say more people are more prone to instant gratification, and they don't want to put in more of the work, especially after when they've
even after
when they've done the surgery. That's the key right there. Is maintain it and put in the work.
So, all right. So trends are always changing. I can remember. I think Sir Mix-a-Lot was the one who kind of started the whole thing. But yeah, I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
Hey.
Hold on. My bad. I'm trying to be serious. I'm being silly. All right. So, I know trends are changing. Trends are changing. Are you noticing any trends that are changing, or what do you see things are potentially going to evolve to?
I think now going forward, for one, especially here in South Florida, I've noticed within the last year, almost 2 years now, things have been more safer.
Explain.
The state of Florida has definitely stepped in.
Okay. So they're locking down.
And they've mandated and implemented laws and rules and making sure there are more safety procedures because, it was getting out of control at one point.
Yeah.
It was really getting out of control. These, I really hate to speak about it, but, not all of them, but some of these surgeon offices were like butcher shops. They would just boom, 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 one after the other. So now Florida has really came in and stepped in, and they've mandated that they only operate a certain amount of surgeries per day.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So that's a good thing for the future of the surgery here in South Florida, because now that would allow these surgeons to actually spend a little bit more time, with each individual surgery that I feel, and then it will improve the safety.
Okay.
Right, it will improve the safety, and it will decrease the neglect.
Gotcha.
Right, of the care that they need after the surgery.
Gotcha.
Right, because a lot of people have had major health issues or have died due to the neglect of care.
Wow.
So I think going forward now, ever since the Florida has stepped in, they've made some changes, some rules. I feel like they're heading in a good direction. It's hit business-wise. It has hit business-wise, but it's better, in my opinion, for everybody that is looking to have surgery.
So the entire industry and the customers. So
absolutely, customers, everything. Yeah.
So if they want to rush things, they go overseas.
If they want to rush things, they go overseas. But you have some really good surgeons overseas as well too. that are not like that too. They're actually, from what I heard, like for example, like Colombia, you have some good surgeons out there that have proper protocols in place and everything that do things from a safe perspective.
Okay.
Right.
Now, in terms of trends, I mean,
Hmm.
it seems like butts have been getting bigger and bigger
Hmm.
as time has gone on. Has gone on. I
Yeah,
mean,
the trend of BBL is has been a trend these past these five years. I've noticed it. It's been hot. The market has been really hot, especially during COVID. Man, during COVID, it was like people were taking advantage of the break. They were
okay,
taking advantage of being home and working, right?
okay,
And they used
okay.
that time to recover.
So COVID was your BBL break.
Oh man, they used that. They used that. I really felt like that was a breakthrough that time. So yeah, um, I feel like BBLs is still a trend. I feel like there's still a desire for women to get BBLs and even tummy tucks. But there's a trend overall for just anything to enhance your body, your look.
Do you think it would ever swing back the other way, like bell bottoms? You know, bell bottoms was in style, went out
Hmm.
of style, and came back. Do you think it ever swing
Nah, I
back like
don't think
that?
so.
No. So big butts are here to stay.
I think it's slowed down for sure. I think it's slowed down, but I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it will continue to enhance for sure. I think it will continue to enhance.
Well, I mean, geez,
Yeah.
how much bigger can they get?
Well, you gotta understand too. You have people that, I mean, you have people that are willing to work for the results, and you have people that don't want to work for the results, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If
Okay.
they don't want to, they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they got the money, and
Right. That's an important part as well.
that's, hey, who am I to judge? That's fine.
Judge free zone here. Judge free
Right.
zone. Judge free zone. Go as big as you
And
like.
right, and you have people who rather do things the natural way.
Right.
So there's no wrong or right way to do things.
Okay.
I would just say you do what you feel, what you want, and based on your goals. You
Right.
just make sure that whatever you decide to do, you do your research, you listen to your body, and you be honest with yourself and everybody else around you that are trying to help you in this journey.
Gotcha. So, if individuals wanted to reach out to you to kind of get some tutelage on or have a good idea of what they should look out for and things that you'd be able to educate them on
Oh
that,
yeah,
correct?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And then I have, I've worked with individuals, um, and colleagues that are also in this line of business that I work with that I can always refer to them as well too.
Okay.
So yeah, they're honestly the people that I work with, I associate with, I would say they're a little bit more educated than me, and they've actually been in the field longer than me.
Okay.
So a lot of times I actually learn from them as well too. But yeah, anything that I don't know, I'm afraid to not refer to anybody, just to make sure. But yeah, absolutely, they need to contact me. They can go to my Instagram, my telephone number's on there. They can actually reach me on Google, Prodigy Touch.
Oh, Prodigy Touch. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and
Is that the
like,
same thing? Your Instagram and
yes,
Twitter and all
well,
that?
Prodigy Instagram is Prodigy Touch _,
Okay.
and on my Google, you just type in Prodigy Touch LLC. It should come up. It should come up there, and then you'll see my logo and some pictures there, and then all the reviews that are there as well
Okay.
too.
Good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are there guys out there doing
Yes. I've had clients that are male clients as well too.
really?
Yes.
What are they doing? Please, I'm curious.
So
Because my push-ups aren't working. They're not working. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you have guys that are also doing lipos, tummy tucks, right? Again, guys that have lost weight and can't seem to get that tightening of the skin, they also too struggle with that, and so they'll do like a tummy tuck procedure, so that way they can have that tightening of the skin. They'll do like an arm tightening or chest tightening. I've seen those because they've lost so much weight that the looseness of the skin was too apparent, so they can't, and the muscles or dare enough to really overcome that. You know what I'm
Gotcha,
saying? So
gotcha.
they need those type of surgery procedures to really to get rid of that, to assist with that.
With that being said, I'm curious, like, how do the women look at that? Because you said there's
Mhm.
there's area of men who think
Right.
BBLs are fake,
Right.
right?
That's a good question. A lot of women actually look down upon men doing surgery. And I'm like, why is that? Because that's so hypocritical in my opinion.
Right. I would say that is hypocritical, but
You
what? But
know,
what is their reasoning behind it?
well, because women are dominant in that area.
Okay.
So you don't have much males compared to women who
Mhm.
do these surgery procedures. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So a lot of women look down upon that. They do.
So,
A lot of men do too as well too.
well, I can definitely understand why
Right,
men
yeah,
would look
right, yeah,
down upon.
absolutely. I can understand it as well. Because I can look at it, I'm like, dude, you could have worked.
Right.
All you just
Exactly.
need to do was just work hard, bro. You just were too lazy to get in the
Right.
gym.
Right. Right. So now, would you say? Because I find that interesting now. So the females are going to take the double standard.
Hmm.
Would you say that the females frown upon it because they see as a man should work for the results that he
Yeah, that's
achieves?
probably what it is.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's like something
They feel
innate
like,
within them.
yeah. And then they feel like it's much more easier for a man to lose weight and get the results that they want, which is to a degree, it is true.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. But there are cases where I, again, like a man who may need that. That's what I'm saying, because genetic wise, because of, where he was before. And he, again, you may never know, he might have lost tremendous amount of weight, and he might need that surgery,
Right.
type of surgery, to help enhance his look.
Right.
I'm all for that. I don't have no issue with that. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Well, for the dudes out there, guys, if um, if you're worried about the BBLs, enhance your pocketbook, and
Right.
that'll make it better.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly. That is exactly it. Yep.
Yeah. Enhance your wallet, man.
Yep. Enhance your wallet.
You
Yep.
know, get out
That.
there and
Yep.
work, my friend, one way or the
Yep.
other.
One way or another. Yeah. Yeah. But you have man, I do have clients who have had lipo, tummy tucks, and even BBLs. Men have also done BBLs as well too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
you opened my eyes to a lot, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of individuals are gonna really be more aware of the situation because you see it, you just don't know,
right.
and then you're opening up a door
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
greater understanding. That's what I
Right.
would
Right.
call it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's about education. I think that um, going forward in this industry, people just need to be safe, and the safety needs to be a priority,
Right.
right, in this industry. And I feel like the last few years I've noticed that safety has not been a prioritized, right, and so making sure that safety prioritized for the surgeons and for the patients as well too.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
so I'll just say, do what you, if you're gonna do it.
Okay.
But be safe, do your research, and make sure you do things in a way that it's going to allow you to have a smooth, safe journey.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Kep, I appreciate you
Man. It was great.
and your information and your experience.
Absolutely.
Again, for individuals who are watching or listening, and they want to get in contact with you, let them know once again for me, please.
Yeah, on Instagram, Prodigy Touch _ Prodigy Touch and _ my contact info is all along there. I have a link tree that's linked to my Instagram. So as soon as you click there, you'll be able to get all my information. I do have a website as well too that's on that link tree. And also you can search me up on Google as well too, Prodigy Touch. All right.
Okay. And thank you again for coming to the OWL podcast. All right. Any information, any questions or information that you're looking for, info@orlandowalters.com, info@orlandowalters.com. Thanks again. I appreciate you guys coming and listening or watching. And definitely subscribe, share. If you have comments, leave comments. Interact. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to experience different things, and I hope you guys can come along with that journey. Come along on that journey with me. So, thanks again. You guys have a good one.